Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining my stream. I'm Jenna, and if you've been watching Onyx Path Twitch lately, you might have seen me on Trinity Continuum Aeon, Attack on Nemesis Station. I played Amira, your hacker and synthwave DJ of the future. Right now, we are going to play Trinity Continuum Core. I'm new to the system. I usually play Mage the Ascension, or M20. And so I took the time and I just thought, I'm going to read this core rule book. And I found that with just the base game and materials, you can create an entire adventure. It's a little bit super science, it's a little bit action based, but I had an idea in mind and I'm going to show you through this adventure, like how we can go and just make your ideas come to life. This adventure is set in 1990s Florida in North America, and it's called The Devil in Board Shorts. I watched a lot of detective noir movies. I watched a lot of hard-boiled detectives, and I thought I'd combine kind of like my two favorite eras of movie genre plus where I had to visit all my older relatives when I was younger. So we're going to have Radio Shacks, we're going to have alligators, we're going to have Little Caesars, we're going to have Walkmans. It's going to be great. With me today is the Technogate 2000 crew, which we play M20, but with the technocracy setting. And I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves and their characters. So when we get to you, if you could say your name, your character's name, both their pronouns, and what type of character you're playing today, that would be great. We'll start off with Frozen Fallout.
Hey everybody, I'm Frozen Fallout. I normally do the GMing for Mage the Ascension Technogate. I am he, him, and my character, which I don't think I didn't pick a character name yet, did I? We're gonna go with Matthew. So we're just gonna go Matt Delvon. Similar to the character name that I have for a different game that I'm playing it. So
I was worried for a minute
character.
because I added an NPC named Kyle, since a lot of our NPCs are named Kyle in the other streams, and I was just like, I was ready to change it if you defaulted to your favorite name. So that's perfect. I have no Matts on the list. Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, Matt Delvon, he is a private investigator, and really into like law enforcement kind of stuff, and part of the Gorty Alley PI Society.
Alligator Alley PIs. Yeah.
Alligator.
So, yeah, that's what
brain.
they named a road that they build through the Everglades.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
get to stop and look at alligators on it. So, yeah.
And he is a he/him as well.
Okay, next up is Moto Rory.
Hey everybody, this is Moto Rory. Today I will be playing Timothy Beale, although everybody calls him Tink, short for Tinkerbell, and I am the elite hacker of the group here at the Alligator Alley PI agency. Normally on Mondays, some Mondays of the month, I play Tycho Vance in the previously mentioned mage game, and I am he/him.
Great. And next up is Fincross. Who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Fincross. I will be playing Frankie McCormick. He started in the military, then became a volunteer firefighter, but that wasn't paying the bills. So he joined up with the Alligator Alley PI team as the demolitions and weapons expert. And I use he/him.
Great. And last but not least, Ginger Snap Roll.
Yo, I am she/her. I'm going to be playing Daisy Riddle. Original's path is Street Racer, but she's going to be playing as a medical practitioner. She is also a she/her.
Perfect. Yeah, you're our local EMT who knows everything that's going on.
Girls
Great.
things.
So we're gonna start off the session with what Alligator Alley PI Detective Agency looks like. It is in a strip mall. It is in a former dentist's office that has been mostly cleaned out, but there is like one kind of broken exam chair in the corner that maybe you guys like hang out and um, have some stuff on. There's multiple tables. You have a fax machine. You may even have a general Apple computer, which you can access certain databases on from uh, Matthew's background. He has some access to some police databases. And you kind of are getting together. You've closed up shop, but the lights are on because you all just got a Little Caesars ready to go down at the other end of the strip mall. It's you guys, and then next door is maybe like a pet grooming place, and then you have a Radio Shack where the sign always flickers, like it never has all the letters up, and then it ends in a Little Caesars pizza. So as you're hanging around and discussing like some current cases that you've been offered, pictures for a divorce to kind of settle who's been cheating on who. You have store theft. They want you to be like a secret shopper. Just kind of general cases. And you hear a knock at the door, and the door is full glass. It says Alligator Alley PI, and there's just like some remnants of like the dentistry logo on there. So there's like maybe a tooth or whatever like that. And you see a woman knocking at the door. What do you do?
I get up and walk over and take a look. Like it's a glass door, right? Or is it a?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
see
full
who it
glass.
is. Kind of check it out. Are they freaky like knocking like, or are they just standard knocking?
They're quick knocking, looking behind them, holding on to a big purse. If anybody's visually on stream, I just did like the girl with a chunky purse, like shoulder um up kind of thing. It's kind of um I would say it's like kind of fall in Florida. Maybe it's like late September, so she has maybe like a light sweater on, some acid wash jeans. Her hair is permed. She looks a little nervous because she keeps looking behind her, but she doesn't look intimidating at all. She's about 5'4". Like I said, she has like some big crimped hair. And she's just very pale, and blonde.
Like vampire pale? No.
You could say that. Yeah,
No.
I mean,
Oh,
I don't wanna put words in your mouth, but, like, yeah,
That's
she's pretty
immediately
pale.
what I think. What Matt thinks is like she's a fucking vampire. But let's find out what's
Yeah,
going on. So
yeah.
he opens up the door. How can I help you?
She goes, "This is the detective agency, right? Because there's a tooth on the door, and I need help finding my brother."
A tooth on the door? But
Yeah,
yes,
because it's the
yes.
old dentistry logo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't mind that logo. Come on in, come on in. We'd be happy to help, and I kind of bring her over to the group. Tell us what's going on.
She goes, I'm sorry, I know you're closed. It's after 8, and but
No, no problem, no problem.
I work night shift, and I don't know, I just thought I could maybe catch you. My brother's been missing for a few days, and no one is putting him on top priority because he does have a tendency of using drugs and, going away for months at a time and then just randomly appearing. But um this time's different. We had a heart to heart, and just no one is taking me seriously.
Interesting. Do you know what? Why do you think that he went missing?
Oh, he said he was gonna go meet a friend and come back, and he's a really big surfer, and there was supposed to be really good waves this past weekend, and he wouldn't have missed that.
Interesting.
And he just doesn't have any friends around here anymore. He would have been staying with me.
Hmm. So you're saying that he went missing recently after going to this big event, and he's known for disappearing in the past. You were saying what other
Yes.
times has he disappeared?
Well, it's to go to find like these different, like surfing events. Like, um he he just is like, follows the I can't say it. I don't know. I just don't have enough enthusiasm for it. But he was Point Break before Point Break was a thing, kind of deal. And
And
but
I'm guessing you've
this
talked
weekend,
to his friends and that he's not staying with anybody else. He said, I mean, he said that he does these events a lot, and he would normally stay with you, but it sounds like he's stayed with other people in the past or something. What
well,
happened
when
in
they
the
were in
other
other
times?
towns, when it's here, he stays with me. And this weekend it was here. It was in Miami. You guys are in the outskirts of Miami.
Okay, and this is in the '90s, so we don't have access to like cell phones or anything, right?
You have a
Uh,
telephone book.
we've got telephone book. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of look over at the rest of the group to see if anybody has any.
When was the last time that you spoke with him?
Um, Thursday night. He left Friday morning to go see some friends um further south, like heading towards the Keys, but he was supposed to come back Saturday morning to do the surfing contest.
And today is
Today is we'll say Monday night.
okay.
So this whole time uh, that this has all been happening, um, Tim is back in his tech corner, just shelves filled with all sorts of gadgets and stuff, and he's just been typing this whole time into multiple computers. And he finally
Okay.
looks up and he says, "What's his name?"
His name's Kyle Maxwell. He's technically my half brother, but that's his name. I'm Cheryl, by the way, and she starts shaking everyone's hands. Cheryl Stanford. Hi.
And
Hello,
do you
I
know the
am
name
Matt
of the
Delvan.
friend?
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moto then Frozen. So go ahead, Moto.
Do you know the name of the friend he was visiting?
So she'll make a face because if you kind of look at her, she's hip, but she's still a bit suburban. And she goes, Slash,
Flash?
Slash.
Slash. Oh, like
Yeah.
the guitar guy.
Yeah. Yeah. The other one's name is Remy. I don't know. I went down there. I can't go outside very much. I have a condition. That's why I work night shift. And I went down there after the contest and they were having a bonfire. And when I went to talk to them, they said he never came. And so they said they would check him out. They would look for him the next day, which would be Sunday, and it happened again. And so him being missing at one of his contests with his friends is just unusual, even for him. I'm worried that he's like dead somewhere.
Can I get a read on her? Like,
Sure.
just
How would
kind of
you?
is everything, is all of her body language lining up with like what she's saying and how she's expressing how she's feeling.
Yeah. You can pick I would say that's an empathy roll.
Okay.
And then how would you like to go about it? Would you like to um, like be smart about it or like quick-witted about it with cunning and intellect, or would you like to like know what your presence and your manipulation would be and like kind of base it off of that? Like
I
so
got.
how are you vibing her out with attributes?
Um, I'm gonna go see if this is okay. I would like to use resolve, as in, is she being stoic and she's secretly panicked, or is she actually uh, quite calm and comfortable with everything that's going on right now? Uh, if I can, otherwise, I'll use cunning to do the same thing. If resolve doesn't work.
I think that's fine. It's however you want to go about it. So
Okay.
you're comparing it to like how you would have been thinking about this and stuff like that. So sure.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll resolve plus empathy.
All right, and that's 1d10 for each dot in both of those. Correct.
Correct. Yes, and you're looking for eights, nines, or tens. When you roll a 10, you re-roll it, and it needs to be another 8, 9, or 10 for it to be an extra.
Uh, okay. So I'm rolling 6 dice total, 5 for resolve, 1 for empathy,
Okay.
and I have an 8 and a 9.
Okay, so 2 successes. And then do you have any edges, which are like edges or skill tricks that would enhance this roll?
Um, Probably not.
I think
Um,
yours are mostly like mechanical and weapons, but um I'm not sure if so. All right,
yeah, I'm
so
comfortable with no,
was
unless
okay.
danger sense is something.
Let me look up danger sense real quick. Uh, let's see.
Immediate, directly harmful threats like an ambush or a sniper. So is
I don't
she
think she's
about
about to
to attack
fly.
me?
Is she
Otherwise,
going to hit you?
is she?
No, not
Okay.
with that many successes.
Okay.
I would say that even if we had a little danger sense in there, like if we, I'll put like a half a success. Um, she's nervous because you guys aren't in like the best part of town, and it's nighttime. She's annoyed that her brother did this again, right?
Okay. So
Um,
she's more feeling that he's lost, not in dire straits and trouble right now.
yeah,
Is her job? Okay. Okay.
she's trying to sound caring, and whether she is or not, you sense an undercurrent of like this little shit did it again and he might be dead. So she's trying to be like, he might be dead, like think of the consequences of that. But if he's not, she's probably going to punch him. That's how you that's how you
Okay.
get the danger sense in there. Okay.
All right.
So
That sounds good. I'm gonna just keep an eye on her in case her demeanor changes under further questioning. Like if we
okay,
hit something she doesn't want to answer, that kind of thing.
sounds good. Yeah. Um so Slash and Remy are the two surfer friends that you can go find on the beach if you want to. Moto, since your character is taking notes. There was she says that she uh works night shift because she has a condition. Um and she goes, I can tell you his social security number. I can tell you his license plate number. I could just, just something. Like the cops just won't do anything because it's been barely 48 hours and they just said there's more important things to do than look for him.
Well, you came to the right place because that's what we do.
And so she relaxes a little bit and she goes, thanks.
So out of game real
So,
quick,
mhm.
do we have rates? As in, like, cause do we have to talk money at all, or is that something that's you know, we could just
You
kind of
can
All
you
over?
can
strapped for
make
cash, are we?
Yeah,
yeah.
what kind
So
of situation are we in here when are we able to be like, "Oh, we'll just take this case and we'll talk about money later," or
I
are
mean,
we?
I feel like in every media that I watched for this game, and it's named after the Denzel Washington movie The Devil in a Blue Dress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um like every reason for that movie was because he had no money. Like he lost his job. So I just feel like every detective needs the cash, even in the Maltese Falcon. Like he was following the money trail. Um, so I'm going to say in the classic style of the genre, yes, you are always strapped for cash for
Um,
sure.
I mean, we're working out of an old dentist place that we didn't even take the tooth off the door. I think we do need the money.
Okay, good point. Good point.
We can finally get that tooth removed.
So then I would say, well, before we continue on, we do need to talk about rates. This is going to take a lot of man hours and detective work. As you can see, we have a full team that would be willing to jump right into, taking care of this and finding your brother. Shouldn't be a big issue, but we do have, daily rates that we do need a little bit of upfront cash in order to ensure that we can, fund some of the activities we might have to partake in order to find your brother.
She goes, of course. And so she starts like digging through her purse, which is like classic 80s, like white patent leather, like chunky bag. And she's like going through it. And she goes, I need you to start working on this tomorrow, like maybe even the minute I leave. I need to find out where he is. And she goes, how does $2,000 sound to start?
So real quick, out of game, how
So
much is
for,
$2,000 to us
okay.
right now? Like, what's
So
our
for,
expenses? Like, like, doesn't need super detailed, but what is it? When I hear two thousand
yeah.
dollars, am I thinking that's a lot of
In
money?
1990 to 1992, $5,000 is worth $11,000 now.
Right. So it's about, it's a good amount of money, but I mean, like, with our expenses that we have, like, is $2,000 going to save us like a lot, and we're gonna have like a lot to play
Oh
with,
yeah.
or are we
Oh yeah.
like,
Like in terms of like money right now, she's trying to give you like 5,000 $5,000 and you probably usually charge like 250 a day or something like that, kind of
okay,
thing.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't shouldn't be a problem for us to dedicate all of our resources um, into that, and then we can talk about if things change. But I think that this should be something that we should be able to find him. What do you think? And I uh, does anybody?
Yeah, that should work. Yeah, that sounds good.
Are you doing like a wink, like, yeah, that's a great down payment, huh, guys?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, like, So she goes, oh, great. And so she'll like dig into her bag
down
and
payment.
she like literally gives you um a blank white envelope full of cash.
Jesus Christ.
So let's jump right into this. We we can start working through the night here, I think, in order to really get the ball rolling. Um,
So I'm
I'm
gonna have everybody um just roll some different rolls to get some clues. She's given you some clues so far. Frozen, did you want to do anything since you kind of made the talker head detective of the group? Did you
yeah.
want to go about it a certain way?
Yeah,
Um,
so I definitely want to so I would see if I can be a little ridiculous here. I'm trying to look it up,
yeah.
but there's gun tool that I have, and I kind of want to be like, listen, like pull out my gun, but that might not be such a good idea. I love this. I just want to bring up the gun tool ability that there is. The
Okay.
I think it's a skill trick. Um, I'm trying to find it right now. I thought I wrote down the right thing for it.
How about this?
But
While you're talking to her and you're like, "Let's get down to business. I need to focus." And you're cleaning your gun as you talk to her for some reason. If you really want to add the character's aim to any role, no matter how unreasonable it may seem, is what gun tool does. So,
it does say that it's on page. Okay, here we go. 26. So
46, I believe.
or 46. Yes, gun tool. The character can use her gun in any action, no matter how unreasonable it may seem. Um, Once per scene, the player may spend a momentum to add a character's aim in any single die roll. So this is a little
Do
bit
we
of a
have
weird one.
do we have any momentum?
Impressing.
There's 4 momentum in the pool to start off with. We did 1 per player. Um, Frozen, you also have devilishly good looking.
That was another
No one
thing.
ignores you. The target's attitude shifts 1 towards positive. So we're not doing a lot of she wants your help, kind of thing. So I'll give you 1 enhancement for that. And then you also have you had something else. You had
I have
striking.
cracks in the ice. Let's see here. Striking. Oh yeah, I do have striking. What does striking do for me?
Um,
Here we go. Character's appearance is remarkable, either in a positive or negative way. Others find him particularly memorable, and he attracts attention just for standing around. But your character receives 2 enhancements to any social action that benefits from impressive manere er, meme meme.
uh-huh. So we could also do +2 enhancements for that. For your striking. So she's positively inclined to you. I'm going to give you an enhancement for the devilishly good looking for the striking. You can also do crack in the ice. You find 1 insignificant fact about this opponent and able to use that to hammer through their mental defenses. The player may add the empathy skill as bonus dice to their next persuasion to interrogate the subject. So maybe you want to use crack in the ice this time instead of gun tool.
Either way, can I use both? I can't do both, right? I can't just go haywire on this and be like, "This is what I do."
um,
I pull out a gun. I sweet
okay,
talker.
well, let's put it this way. I think you're already
I mean,
Well,
I've got
how do you want to go about this? Let me put it this way. You're going to be using an attribute of your choice plus uh persuasion. So, do you want to add your empathy to it and keep it positive, or do you want to add your aim to it and keep it kind of like
oh,
harsh?
okay, I hear you. No, I agree. Yep. So I'm gonna definitely go down the empathy route there. So I'll do like
Okay.
persuasion. I was thinking, you were saying this was, would
I
this be
think you can
cunning?
do um you can also do presence or manipulation or composure.
Okay. Um, presence then. So that would be 3. So that's 6. And then I
So you're
have,
going to roll presence plus persuasion plus empathy because you did crack in the ice.
okay, so that puts me at 9.
Okay, so roll that.
All right, so 9d10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Did tens do anything special?
You re-roll tens, and if they show up again as an 8, 9, or 10, it's an extra success.
Okay.
So you're doing
Um,
8 and above.
so I get to. So I've got 2 8s and 1 10. So and then I get to re-roll the 10.
Correct?
Okay. And that was a 7. So 3 successes. It looks like.
Okay, plus 3 enhancements, so you're at a 6.
All
And
right.
she's positively inclined to you. Um, if you
And the way
offer her
that I'm
some
kind of
pizza,
go.
she will not accept. But do you want to ask specific questions, or do you just want to? I can give you a series of clues that you find out during your conversation,
Yeah,
or
if
how
I
do you
could
want to go
just
about it?
explain like the way that I'm kind of interacting with her is, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just kind of having her go through, I'm charming her up. I'm gonna take her aside, from the group basically and do like a little interrogation session where it's all about that I'm on her side. I want to know everything. I want to know about you. Being a little flirty,
Okay.
little, friendly, like kind of like, wanting to hear about off topic kind of stuff. And I want to spend like a good I mean, depending on how much there is to really figure out that I can start pulling from her, I would, start with like an hour, but I might persist on if it feels like there's more that I can gain from her, or if there's, basically like she's just not really giving me good clues at all. Um,
Sure. Yeah, you rolled 6, which is a critical success. I say like there's like maybe in the back corner, like you guys set up some like mismatched couches and chairs. It's kind of like a nice like kind of hangout since this is like what you usually do. You're a talker, you want to know all about them. She mentioned that she works night shift. She mentioned she has a condition. She has what they consider like xeroderma pigmentosa, which is she can't go out in the light very much. Um,
she's a vampire.
so she tries to do everything at night. And she works uh night shift at like a call center that has like a 24-hour type thing. Um, she does give you her brother's license plate number that you can run through one of your systems that you participate in. Usually, what happens with private eyes is that they can pay for databases. So you can run that through the DMV once you hand it off, maybe to Tink or Tim. Her half brother, they're not very close, but they've been, he came back in her life and he's been trying to help, and he has been missing since Thursday night. She says Thursday night, Friday morning. She's not sure when he left. And then you are kind of noticing during this um conversation that she's giving a lot of information up to you, but it's also like you've met another player in the game, right? Like she kind of is turning on this like innocent thing, like damsel in distress, whatever. And so you can kind of notice that you're trying to be the smooth talker, and she's also coming back with like her version of what she thinks you want to hear, kind of
Okay, so
thing.
she's good at she knows how to like do the persuasion game. She's got some skill points, some dice that are actually possibly behind her. Does she also
Yeah.
seem rich? Like, is that am I getting like am I getting like super rich? Like where I can like because with the $2,000 down payment, I'm just thinking a little bit ahead. Like does it feel like we're gonna
Yeah.
be able to pull out? Because that's another thing that because she's working at a call center. She just dropped $2,000. I'm also going to be digging a little bit into, but not like harshly, like kind of casually where she gets, some
Yeah,
this kind
so
of
she
money.
said, like, she's, like, putting her hair behind her ear, like, stuff like that, and she said, like, recently they had an aunt die, so she and, Kyle got some, inheritance because it was on the side of the, uh, parent that they both share. She also said that, she'll tell you a lot about Kyle, and, she's like, "This is the reason why the cops don't wanna help," he's very into, like, chop shops, stealing cars. He was a drug dealer, he was a drug addict, he's a surfer dude, and he's just like they just feel like he's just like, um, a bad mark on society, and they don't wanna deal with him, and she goes, "I found some of this money in his bag," and she goes, "I feel like this is, probably from some nefarious deal, but if it can help get my brother back, then I'll figure out if, this money is owed to someone else later." And that's why it was like in the dirty envelope and stuff like that. So, like mafia style, like white envelope. She
Okay, so
describes
that
Kyle,
changes things a little bit.
yeah. She describes Kyle as just like a general, like 6 foot lean dude. He surfs all the time. He's always in a pair of like board shorts. He's always like a body glove t-shirt. It's very 90s. I remember those. Maybe his like that half scuba suit that sometimes surfer wears, like he left his like board is missing, and he always has it like in his car or whatever, or at the place he's staying. And he's always wearing like a printed shirt, like a Trader Joe's, a Hawaiian shirt, a Jimmy Buffett shirt kind of thing. Like he fits the bill, long blonde hair, sunglasses, that kind of thing. She mentions that he would have um, a locket that's a family heirloom, that he always wears good luck for surfing, and
Okay.
that was missing, so she knows he intended to go surf, like, his surfboard and the, like, necklace is missing. So, if he didn't intend on surfing that day, he might have left them at her place.
His buddies, Flash and Remy, uh,
Mhm.
are they just his friends that he surfs with, or are they also involved with his shenanigans? Uh,
She is going to say she goes, "Remy's so high all the time, I don't even know if he, like, knows if he's on Earth." But she goes, "Slash, I think, got his name because he's part of the chop shop scene."
got it. Uh, well, anybody else got any other questions? I think we should probably start doing our job.
Yeah, no questions for her, but once she leaves, we got some stuff to talk about.
I assume she has filled out the contact info sheet for us to get a hold of
Yes.
her.
Yes, she has very, like, swirly cursive writing, that's easy to read, very big, and yeah, so it's like, yeah, you put that in the paper file for sure.
When she's finishing up the paperwork, I want to put my hand on her shoulder and assure her that we'll find him. And then I also want to. Does she feel cold or normal?
Is she a vampire?
I told you guys she has xeroderma pigmentosum, but sure. Let's how would you like to go about that? Is it like a sly close combat? Is it like a larceny pickpocket-esque type thing? She is wearing a light sweater. So maybe you'd have to like grab her hand. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'll do that. I'll take her hand to help her up when she's done with
okay.
kind of.
Um, you could do medicine.
How about
You could do it as an empathy thing. Like, how would you like to go about this, Fincross?
we're gonna do presents
Don't ask the medic.
and
Do it myself.
uh, we'll do it empathy. I was gonna try to make an argument for aim at gunpoint, but no, that's not necessary. Uh, this is not a great roll, actually, but we'll see what happens. I'm not supposed to be doing this. 0 successes, but no ones.
Okay, so we get an extra one into the momentum pool because there was a failure, so you're at 5.
Ooh, see, I have
Um, do you want to take one out of the momentum pool and see if you get a success?
that would
So
just
the
be
way
rolling 1d10 and then hoping that I get an
yeah.
8, 9, or 10.
So what happens with momentum is you can use it before or after a roll. You get extra dice. And you can take as many momentum out of the pool as you want, as long as the group agrees to it, and then you can roll those extra dice and see if you get a success.
All right, I am going to attempt to take 1 momentum. Is that all right?
Yeah, we
I
can't
agree.
fail at the beginning of of the
Eh,
job.
I feel like we're gonna let the dice decide. It's an 8.
Okay. So you like do your just like, we'll find him, kind of deal. Do you want to describe what happens or how do you want to go about this?
Well, I'm essentially just going to help her up out of the chair, like a
Uh-huh.
polite gentleman would, and then
Okay.
escort her to the door, which I'll let her let go of my hand whenever she wants to.
Okay.
And then I want to know if it's normal human temperature.
Her hands are a bit cold. You do notice they are a little bit blue. Maybe she does have a circulatory problem.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a great way to have that still be ambiguous. Uh,
You only
all
got
right, and
one
then
success.
Could I have asked her during the interview if she was a vamp?
Y'all are goofy.
all right, and then I'll lock the door behind her as she leaves.
Okay, sounds good.
Turn back to the group.
Was she a vampire?
It is unclear.
Whoa.
We
Are
probably should have
vampires
had.
are vampires real? Like, do we know about vampires? Do they exist in this world?
Well, you
You
can
are
use your.
if even if you are in the world of darkness, if that was my like epic plot twist at the end, you are mere mortals, my dears. So,
Well, I'm just wondering. So in this world, though, there is supernatural activity and stuff that's going on, right? But it's because there is like aberrants and stuff. Is that correct? Are
the
there
aberrants don't come
superheroes?
about until 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's part of the timeline. So previous to that, what's happening in this world that you know about that's different is that globally there's like different societies, like the Aeon Society, etc., that have had extraordinary people. Like there seems to be like a heightened sense of, James Bond characters, leverage characters, just like they're called talents in the system, but there's just like there's always there's some like Doctors Without Borders is kind of souped up and they're called like archangels or something like that. Like that's a society. So you have some kind of like epic people, like The Rock would play them in a movie, kind of thing. Like that's more realistic in this world. Um but in terms of like werewolves and stuff, no, not that you
Okay.
know about. And then the other thing in this timeline for those who are familiar with the Miami area in the 90s is that um part of the Trinity Continuum is you can set it in any multiverse you want, basically. And in my multiverse, for local purposes, the Royal Palm Hotel, which was like the original hotel that was like founded in Miami and it's like an elite place and it was, built back in like the turn of the century and stuff like that, still exists. In our timeline, in real world 2024. It was destroyed ish in a hurricane and they took it down in like 1926 to 1930 and now it's like a Whole Foods kind of thing. It's like, just parking lot and Whole Foods and like high rise and whatever. In this world, that's still like a swanky place to go to. And the vibe is, if anybody's been to Disney, the Grand Floridian is based off of that. So in this world, um, the Royal Palm Hotel is a resort to go to, is still there, is a chunk of Miami um, for local lore, which we would have gotten to, but we can just drop that now. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we don't really need to go down any kind of avenue necessarily. That our characters wouldn't think about going down the avenue of any kind of supernatural thing happening
No,
here.
no, not right
Um,
now. Like in your world, if this was a movie, this would be um like True Detective or whatever. It's based in like reality, like I said, your
More
Maltese.
movie-esque, but it's still, yeah.
Yeah, it would be like Maltese Falcon has some like crazy like back and forth of where the Falcon is and stuff like that. So it's like that, like you have some like epic Indiana Jones stuff, but it's more grounded in reality, but maybe Indiana Jones is like a real person in this continuum type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're right at the beginning of the timeline where people are developing into actual, not superheroes, but like movie heroes.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think on
Cool.
that note, my character gets up. Uh, she had restarted what she was doing the before Cheryl walked through the door, which was taking one of those stress balls and yeeting it up at the ceiling to see how long it takes for it to be sucked back down. She's like, "Well, are we splitting up on this job?"
Well,
Or
Tank, you got ears in any chop shop message boards that we
Uh,
might be able to look into?
well, I was gonna look into that, and I was just gonna do a general look this guy up kind of thing. I
We
mean,
should also look up the woman that just came in and get as much
oh yeah,
information about
absolutely.
who she really is.
Yeah, I'm mostly interested in this aunt that died and they inherited money. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
got to be
suspicious.
records for that.
yeah, it feels weird that she brought that up when when supposedly the money that she just gave us is dirty money from her brother's business. Why would she bring up the aunt then?
Well, she said that she was worried that the dirty money might be owed to someone but she's recently come into an inheritance, so once that goes through, she can, if someone comes looking for this money that she has right now, the immediate cash, she can give them the inheritance when it clears.
Oh, so she hasn't gotten
Gotcha.
that money yet. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I was hoping to do a cunning technology roll because that's kind of what I do. I am gonna look into this Kyle dude. Um,
Do you have any special feats?
I I don't think many of them really. I mean, maybe library, but
Yeah, what does that give you?
well, let's see. At one dot, this library covers a field equivalent to one specialty and offers one enhancement to research roles made using it. But it kind of like has to be a very specific type of library.
Well, I feel like you have that there. I know when we did character creation, Frozen's character has access to different databases
Okay.
as well. So that can all be like in the office. So if you want to just be like, these libraries of stuff are in the office because you set them up electronically or you have books, I'm fine with that. You're in your library spot type deal.
Yeah. So it says it offers one enhancement to research roles. How does that work?
So, when Frozen rolled his persuasion roll, he was getting enhancements. So those are auto successes. The caveat with those is that you have to roll your roll and have at least one success, and then you get the extra successes on top of it. So
Okay.
they can't save you from
Um,
a botch or a failure, but they enhance your successful roll.
Yeah, it was really
Uh,
nice. I like the system. I think it's pretty cool.
okay. Well, so I've got 9 dice for that.
okay.
And then just to kind
Yeah,
of describe what I'm
this is
doing.
the roll you were made for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got like multiple computers, and they're constantly I'm that the modem sound. It's constantly doing that. I'm dialing into different computers, and I am looking for any information that I can about this guy and Cheryl and Slash and Remy. All right. That looks pretty good. I got ooh, that's a lot. 3 9s, 2 8s, and a 10. So that's already 6
6.
successes. And the 10 did not explode.
Okay, so
Mm, And then
how
with the
many
enhancement,
successes plus your enhancements?
6 successes plus the one enhancement from library.
Okay, so you're at 7. Damn, people. I like barely got 2 half the time during my AO game.
That
The
was a
dice were
very
not
close.
nice to me. So, okay. So what you're looking for.
Um,
Xeroderma pigmentosum is a thing. It is highly genetic. I feel like everybody keeps asking about the vampire thing, so I'm just gonna have that be part of whatever the computer did. She seems to have a very low level version of it. Um, she seems to be a little old for usually like she seems to be like maybe uh on the verge of 30, that 25 to 30 range. Usually it's um not a very forgiving disease. Um, you look up Cheryl Stanford. You get a lot of hits. You do get a that's the name that is on the deed to like a very small ranch house where she listed her address and her phone number. So that matches. There's also multiple Cheryl Stanfords that one of them is deceased that seems to be at the same address. So she was like, it seems like she was named like after a relative or something is your best conclusion because there was a Cheryl Stanford at that address back in the 20s.
The 1920s?
Correct.
That's a long time ago.
So, but that's why I said like maybe you come to the conclusion that she was like named after her aunt because this is the 90s. So, if she had an older aunt who was in their 80s, you know, they could have, had a, or maybe she was named after a grandma or something like that. Um, Kyle Maxwell, you put in his social security number, you get like he has never ever paid taxes in his 23 years of life. Um, he does have a car registered to him. Uh, and you see that it's been booted and it has been reported abandoned down in Homestead, Florida, which is pretty far south. It's about the most southern you can go at this point in time, before you have to get on the bridge and go to the Keys. And the address that's listed is a Coral Castle tourist attraction.
The address of what?
Of where the car has been booted, and it will be towed soon.
Ooh. So that particular bit of information is currently being printed on a dot matrix printer, and I will, once it's done, I will rip it off and just wave it in the air and be like, "I found his car." We should
Awesome. Yeah.
somebody grab this.
And then what I'll also have you do is I'm gonna have Ginger Snap make a roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you roll um like composure, intellect, cunning, or resolve, one of those. It's about you remembering something. And you can roll culture for the chop shop stuff. You could roll medicine because you're also a local EMT. You could roll enigmas. Whatever you want to do, just tell me.
I think I'll do medicine and resolve. Uh, I'm probably ran into, if not him himself, maybe his buddies when I used to
Mhm.
do, or because I do EMT work. So I know most of, I wouldn't call them druggies, but most of the people who are involved with drugs.
Yeah, because you have like a street racing background,
Yeah,
right? So kind of like you're into the racing aspect of it. You might not be doing it anymore. You're also local EMT, so you get to see a lot, you get a lot of calls.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, go for it.
People trust their paramedics and tell them a lot of stuff because if you don't, you die. So
You have to tell them what you took so they can give you the right thing.
yeah,
Yeah, so
we're not cops. We're just here to help you.
yeah.
That will be 7 dice. I only have 3, so I'll roll them a couple times. Only I rolled 7 times and only succeeded once. Oh wait, no, that's 0. I got a really tiny die, so I didn't see it.
Okay.
That's a 10. I got 2 10s in a row, so 3 successes.
Okay. So a few things. You've met Slash before. I think you weren't introduced to him as that. Like maybe his name like is Carl or Carlos or something like that. He's just a loser. Um when he was racing, he wasn't very good at it. He was always trying to like one up people. He was just not fun to have around. You didn't know that he was into surfing, but it kind of um kind of makes sense with like after he kind of got out of the street racing crowd as well. That's the next biggest most popular thing around. That has that lifestyle of mixing the two worlds of like the criminal and sport. um he usually hangs out on the beach. But you could go to a garage that you've bought parts from before, let's just say. And if you want to go talk to them tomorrow, they might give you some information. Um, you do know that Thursday, Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, you had a weird call. You didn't take it because it wasn't in your area. But at the Royal Palm Hotel, they found someone electrocuted in the parking lot. Um, by like the side entrance. Like one of the like waiters found it. And so like it wasn't a big deal. Wasn't on the news. There weren't any guest complaints, but it was on the police scanner. And you just remember that shift that night that one of your EMT friends was like, there was like nothing around. Like we had to send the fire department to go check like the um like telephone lines and the electrical stuff. But the hotel didn't experience any um electrical outages. There wasn't any tampering with like maybe a parking lot lamp post that was nearby. They feel like someone like dropped this guy, but it's weird, to drop like someone you electrocuted or something like that. So, and that John Doe came in around the time that Cheryl had mentioned that Kyle was missing, and he's being held at the morgue.
I assume Nana told us this. I suppose that
Is
was the
this
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, just
I
making
was
sure your
muted.
name is Nana Pie, right?
Nope. I saw
What
that and I said no.
what
My
is
name
your name?
Yeah.
Daisy Riddle.
Okay.
Daisy. Okay.
Okay.
Daisy,
Yeah. I
you're muted, and if you could tell us what you like, just how much you told everybody, that'd be great.
Yes, I didn't realize. Um, I guess I was hovering behind. Uh, what are what's your character's
Tim.
name?
Tink.
Tim or Tink.
Tink. I was hovering behind Tink as he was looking up records, and I think I see Slash, and I'm like, oh, I know him. And I give you the quick rundown of how, and then I say how I got a missed call for an electrocuted man, with no ties to the hotel itself because it made no sense how he got electrocuted there, and I'm putting the pieces together.
Hmm.
Maybe someone dropped him off there, whoever stole his car, and put it as far away from the hotel as they possibly could.
What
So,
was um what was the connection to the hotel that Cheryl had for us? Or was there one?
There was not. That was just a lore in terms of like if you Google mapped it in my world, the Royal Palm Hotel is still there.
okay.
Okay.
So, and it's been there since like 1906 or something like that.
Ooh, creepy. Um,
So, where was the location he was supposed to be going to? There was some type of competition in Miami?
So he was supposed to just go to Miami Beach. That's why he was staying with his half sister.
Yep.
But he told her he was going to go see a contact down south real quick, um, Friday, and then come back up and surf Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, do we have like one mobile phone, like a car phone, one of the big bricks?
Yeah.
We have one of them.
Yeah. I feel like you can have one. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we? If you want to stay and keep on the computer, why don't we go to the car? Like some of us go to the car, and then keep in contact via the
How
phones.
how far away is the vehicle from the
So,
hotel?
um, let me Google map this because I think it's hours. Um, I did not write the exact time. So if you are in Miami, you're in like northern Miami, and you are going to Coral Castle, which is a tourist attraction. Now, keep in mind it's already about 9:30 at night. She came around 8. Um,
Oh, the car will be sitting there. Well, we got to check out
it's
the car.
it's about an hour away.
It's only an hour?
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, let's go get the car. Well, or at least take a look at it.
Yeah. I might go hit up some buddies about that unidentified Doe, John Doe, and see how long he's been barbecued for.
Okay. Is that on the way, or would that be?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the hospital's like maybe like 20 minutes,
Then okay,
close by. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you
Okay.
have to go into Miami, but you're on the outskirts of Miami where the real estate's a little cheaper to rent.
So
would I be able to get the John Doe records from the hospital? Is that even a thing that's
I mean, I could.
yeah, it's probably easier just to go there. I doubt their network is even sophisticated enough for me to,
To hack
you know,
source it? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
But this is the movies,
like it,
man. Like in hackers, you could do almost anything, you know.
This was the 90s,
that
though.
was in
80% of
'86.
records,
Yeah.
especially autopsies, is probably still paper.
On paper.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta
yeah,
go
Right
medical
down.
now.
records at the time.
Maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
the best I could do
leading
is fax.
leading edge. They're the first ones that try to convert to a digital system in the country. It's this one small county, and who
I
knows?
don't know. I feel like the Y2K fear is like still too from
Yeah.
my experience with Floridian things, the mail in Florida still takes, as of today, like 3 days longer than anywhere else to get there.
Okay, so they're
Um,
probably not early adopters.
Yeah.
Uh,
no,
uh,
I wouldn't say.
Phaedra, what is your character's name?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Yeah.
Daisy. So, do you want to go with me and then Frozen? What's your character's name? The only
Matt.
one I knew was Tim.
Not him.
Matt. Matt and Daisy, do you want to go with me to swing by the hospital and then go and check out his car? So we can do that without having like businesses open, and then Tim can stay on seeing what he can find.
Well, I'm with you for the hospital. Because first thing in the morning, I gotta go hit up Slash and see what his deal is.
Do you know where he'll be?
Yeah, I know. It was one of my old haunts. I used to get the best parts there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's all right. Good. Um,
And I kind of want to go check out the car.
do,
'Cause it's booted right now, and it's going to get towed probably tomorrow morning or in the next day or two. So
oh,
we can go check it out. It's just in a parking lot somewhere, I guess.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's September, so it's like it's not exactly tourist season anymore, and you see um like if you call their phone and you listen to their answering machine, they're only open like uh Friday. They're only open on the weekends, but like right now they're actually doing repairs to the parking lot. So it made sense that this car got flagged because they can't repave the parking lot
Yeah.
with a
So
car parked there.
they'll definitely be getting rid of it come the first thing the workday tomorrow morning.
Wait, where is the car?
It's at the Coral Castle parking lot.
Coral Castle.
Okay. Who is driving? Because it sounds like we're all gonna load up in the car and then we'll
Yeah, might
drop
as well
off.
go with you. I'm
Yeah.
driving.
Okay. Oh,
What
is
is
it
the
your
drive
vehicle?
skill? Is it pilot?
Pilot. hmm
I have 0 in piloting.
I
Does that
also
mean I
have
don't
0 in
know how to
piloting.
drive a car, or just that I'm a bad driver at driving cars?
I have 4 dots in pilot. I'm
Okay,
driving.
you're definitely driving. I'm pretty sure that I did not realize that that was drive, so I have 0 dots in pilot as well, and
Yeah, it's
I
only
should have.
I
it's only
feel like all of you can drive like a car. I feel like the pilot comes down to like if we did a street race.
Right.
Or if we're being tailed and had to lose the tail.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that okay. Well, that sounds good. Daisy's driving. I'm calling shotgun.
I'll sit in the
I,
back with my mobile rig.
I don't like that I don't have a gun on me.
What does that mean in the 90s?
It's a pretty sizable machine.
There
The
is a
entire back seat.
suitcase with a laptop in it.
This is why we're always broke.
Are you just like holding a fax machine with like a little satellite on it? Like what?
I think it'll evolve over time as we need it to do things. But yeah, there's probably like a battery pack. It's a lot. And
Okay.
like I'm wearing some of it.
Your character has to be jacked. Like because of how heavy machines were.
Yeah, what's your might?
It is 1.
Well, you can carry the battery or the monitor,
He's
but
probably
only
got a
one of those.
trolley that he has in the trunk that he uses to wheel this big monstrosity around.
The early
Picturing
90s had laptops.
No, they did have
Before PC.
laptops. I mean,
yeah,
watch
and they were
Atkins.
2.5 inches thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were heavy, yes.
The I'm picturing the think books from IBM. No, that's not right.
Yeah. They were
In
still
any case,
thick.
yeah, they were beefy. They were beefy. All right. Yeah. So we're heading to the hospital. Do
Go to
we
the
want to
hospital
wait?
first, and then we'll go
Wait at
pick
the
up the car.
hospital. Oh, we'll get the car. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. So to the hospital.
Okay. So we'll have like the dentistry tooth with like maybe an alligator sticker, Batman style, flash across the screen, and you get to the hospital parking lot. Daisy, you know where to park, so you're closer to the morgue entrance. They usually don't take, just anybody off the street, but, if you talk to, um, John, he's probably on staff tonight, and he'll let you in, and, since you guys do have, private investigators licenses that,
I think
um
I pick up like some like really good McDonald's on the way and toss him a bag and say, I gotta look at what call I missed. It was an interesting case, so I gotta see it.
Are
so
we all going in, or are we going to wait in the car?
that's up to you guys.
Daisy, I feel like you know the building, whether or not it would be acceptable if we would.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to come because I'm a smooth talking, sexy looking beast of a man. So.
I would limit it to only one person, who will come with me. I
All
guess
right. Well,
I guess,
I'll.
yeah, if Frozen wants to come with what is your character's name? I've got everybody else. I just wrote it down.
Frozen is Matt.
Matt, yep.
Okay. And
Okay.
who am I
Yeah,
missing? I've
you
got
take
Matt and
Matt.
Tinker.
I'll stay here with Tim, and we'll see you in like a half hour or longer.
Sweet.
Yeah, don't take too long. We got to go get that car.
And you can't just like text us to tell us that it's taking a bit longer. We're gonna just be blind while you're in there.
Mm, yep. And I get to it.
This
So you
game has
Like
pointed
I'm
out
with.
how
Yeah.
I'm reliant on that kind of things. Yeah, we're just gonna sit uncomfortably in the car.
So as you go in, you get up to the window, no one's there. You hear the newest club music going. It's probably like you know, what's that song? Uh I Can't Wait by New Shoes, that do 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 do. Everybody
Yeah.
knows what I'm talking about. That was like absolute perfection in my mind. Um and there's like you hear some like chair rolling, 'cause and like as if someone is like not getting up. They're just rolling on their chair, like back and forth. So
Understandable. I think I yell it towards like I lean over the counter and like just yell, "Hey Joe, got an order for you." And I just start shaking the McDonald's bag.
okay, so he rolls, um and we will change it to Joe. That's fine. I said John before, but it was neutral NPC name created on the fly. Um, so he comes up to the kind of a desk attendant window that's like behind glass and stuff like that, and you can push the McDonald's like through the slide through part, and he goes, "Yeah, that's great. Um, what do you need to know, Daisy?"
So I got a weird phone call, but I was already off on a different job about that guy that ended up at the hotel.
Oh, yeah, on the police scanner? Yeah, you didn't take that one?
No, I was
Oh, no,
already on
that's
a
right.
was on a
No, that was
different,
like yeah, that was like McLaren and Stanowitz. Um,
but it's
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
he's in the
it's
back.
so strange. You mind if I take a look?
Yeah, sure. And when he goes like in the back, he like points to the back, but he also does like this thing where it's like kind of like thriller-esque, where it's like a classic like face someone would make electrocuted with their hands up, like, yeah,
Hmm.
like that's the guy, kind of thing. Um, he says, well, you here for you, or are you here for that PI firm you work with? Someone
Maybe
back there? I can't see. He like refuses to get up from this rolling chair. He'll just like, I think I saw someone else. Who are you with?
Can it be for both, or can it just be for me? Because I truly am honestly curious.
I mean, if you want to fill out the form, the PI license lets you get back here. That's fine if it's part of a case. I just, um,
Yeah, yeah.
so he slips the clipboard through.
I start signing, even though I'm mad that I have to. All right, I make it into an airplane, and I sail it to him so he doesn't have to get up.
He's like, sweet. And so he presses a button and it unlocks like one of those like metal doors that you see in like industrial areas that you could just pull open.
On the way,
And
I snatch up
he
some gloves and put them on.
yeah, he goes, put on, put on a coat and some gloves and the shoe doodles, and I'll meet you in there. And so as you go through, you know how to get there. You put on some protective equipment. You put on like the shower caps for your shoes and gloves and um, these gowns that are like kind of airy cotton. They're not they're not like the ones you get in the hospital as a patient. They're just like protective gear. And you put your like the hair cap on and stuff like that. And you hear another beep as you go through a different unlocked door, and he's in the same, still rolling around the chair that's in there. Luckily, the John Doe is on a lower shelf of the morgue, and he pulls it out. And
I think I look at Tim. I'm like, You squeamish?
You mean to Matt?
Yeah, Matt. Sorry,
Uh,
so hard to learn names.
Matt's kind of like, kind of gives like a kind of a little bit of a squeamish face. I don't, you know, he, kind of gets the willies. Like, I don't, it's okay. I can deal with it.
Maybe you should take a step back. Don't blow chunks on my shoes.
I don't think that'll be a problem, but I might dance around a little bit.
All right.
Ugh.
I let Joe wheel out the body.
okay, so he pulls it out from under those walls with the little doors. And you see a what Cheryl described, a about 6 foot tall, long, blonde-haired man, deceased, um, hands up. There's a lot of scratching and debris embedded in his hands. Very pronounced rigor mortis from the electrocution, and a little bit of a scream face, not like oh no, the horror of it all, but like an like that kind of thing. Um, and he goes, "Yeah, this is the one that they found in the parking lot at the Royal Palm, Like, luckily he was on the side because they were having a really big fancy event that day. That would have been a shit show in the newspaper on the page 6. If that got interrupted by people dumping bodies in there. Um,
Did you get a
but
TD on this yet?
was that?
So did you get a time of death yet?
Yeah, yeah. When was it? It's about Friday night. They found him fresh. He had only been dead for like, I don't know, maybe like an hour before they picked him up.
What time?
When did they pick him up? They picked him up, I don't know, 11 o'clock Friday night.
Okay, so he was probably dead around like 10 p.m.
Sure. Give or take.
Is there any body language on this guy that he's like lying or anything that he's like Is he like sweating,
No,
freaking
he
out
is
at all?
eating a sandwich while he tells you this. Like, he's in the corner. Like, he should not be eating the McDonald's in here. Um, and he's like holding like a medical tray so the crumbs don't get on the floor, and he's just like waiting for you to leave.
Okay, so maybe not lying, just maybe incompetent.
He's used to this is his area. He is night shift morgue attendant.
Okay, so
So
much more that
yeah,
He
he's
doesn't.
he just
Yeah.
doesn't
too
give a
he's
fuck.
too comfortable here for the situation. Um the he said, "Yeah, if you look at the paper, the only weird thing is that he has something in his hands. His hands are all caught up, cut up. That's it." Yeah,
There's
it sounds weird because he's like eating his Big Mac and stuff.
there's something in his hands. Can't
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
like scratches or something like that. It's like coral or
Uh,
whatever.
so he's not clutching something. Something's in his hands,
Yeah,
literally.
like they're cut up.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
yeah,
You're saying that
like he
coral cut up his hands, possibly? So, like,
yeah.
if he was in the ocean. Hmm.
He's like, they weren't wet though.
No water in his lungs.
Nah.
So I'm not there, um, but I think I might have missed something. Is this Kyle?
I don't think so.
I
You
mean,
got
from the description, it looks like Kyle.
blonde,
Oh,
6 foot
Do,
tall.
do we have a
Long
picture
hair,
of him?
What's the eye color?
blue. I don't know.
Blue.
Fine, blue. Yeah, he's that boy. Yeah,
Okay. Did the sister say he had blue eyes?
yeah. We'll say he has blue eyes.
Oh, day.
I
okay,
am
so
I am human and didn't come up with every single.
come on now. I want to
I know.
know. Does he
Oh, I'm
have
Okay.
so upset.
freckles? Does
Yeah,
he, does
yeah,
he,
I wasn't judging.
yeah.
All right. I guess I look at Joe. Any IDs yet on this body?
No, didn't come up with anything. There's a bag of clothes there, but he didn't have his wallet or anything on him.
Oh, okay? Can I look at him?
Hmm.
Is this the same outfit that his
Body glove T-shirt and a Trader Joe's printed top, man, with some board shorts. Yeah, some flippy floppies. Yeah, this looks like Kyle.
I might have someone come in who might be able to ID this body.
Yeah, you notice that Cheryl didn't give you a picture. She said that they had a troubled relationship and they had just gotten like back to, like being close siblings.
Yeah.
Is it possible that with my really good hacking roll from earlier, we found a picture of him in like the paper or um, maybe a mugshot?
I would say mugshot. Yeah, for sure. You definitely have access to that database. He got picked up for like loitering, whatever the charge is for like drinking outside or something like that. Yeah.
Intoxication.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a bonfire thing after a, surfing contest that went too long on the beach, and the beach was technically closed and people complained because it was in like a fancy area. So if Daisy goes in with that mugshot, it's a match.
Okay.
I would say the mugshot got printed out in like black and white. So
All right. Thanks, Joe. Think we're gonna head on out. Uh, Again, I might have someone who'll come in to identify the body, so you'll have more information in your records. I don't have anything concrete yet.
He goes, yeah, no, that's great. One less thing we need to keep here. Can move on. So yeah, send him whenever. I'll flag it as a possible uh relative. You got a phone number for him or something? I could call him.
Uh, it's not concrete. I've only got a hunch. I'm just gonna wait till I've got more definitive evidence. I'll send them your way once I know for sure.
All right, less I got to do.
And then like I gesture to Matt that we should head on out.
Yeah.
All right. So the body is 99.9% dial commercial, probably the same. It's Kyle.
Yeah.
He's been electrocuted. He was found in the Royal Palm Hotel. He has cuts on his hands that have been embedded with coral, but there's been no signs of um, salt water or anything to insinuate that the coral was under the ocean or that he drowned.
Yeah.
Did you
So
see how he was electrocuted? Like, was he hit with wires? So there's like two burn marks, or was it like
I
the
should have
pool that electrified it? Like,
did ask
I
that
feel like
question.
you would have noticed that when you were in
What
there.
was the target area on his body that
Sure, on the report it said that it was like his shoes were wet, but nothing else. And he was like electrocuted from his feet. So he was like standing in water when he was electrocuted, but his hands weren't wet.
Huh. Okay. So here's how I think. This is the vaguest that I've got so far. He was supposed to go down to do some possibly shady shit where his car's parked at the beach, which is an hour away from the hotel, which is also where they found his body, and he died an hour prior. So that kind of checks out.
Oh, give me a Frozen and Daisy.
Yeah.
Give me a roll for you to remember something. Give me a cunning and a enigmas roll.
Hmm.
Just tell me what you get.
Fascinating. That's one dice for me.
Was I looking at my gun during the time so I can use my gun kata? No. Um,
Is it your worry stone? Is your gun like your worry
I'm
stone?
always,
Like, should it be
always,
considered?
always carrying around my gun, always playing with it,
Yeah.
so that if
I mean,
anything
I feel like
happens,
you have it holstered, like
no,
this is
no.
the 90s. I feel like you have a permit to carry, as a
Um,
professional. Yeah,
Eight,
let's
nine, and
see.
10 that are successes,
Can I
right?
lie
correct.
about knowing what you're talking about? 'Cause I'm a skilled liar. No. Okay.
It's
So
just remembering something. So unless you want to
4.
lie to yourself about it,
That's what I was thinking. I'm just
I
yeah.
got one
okay.
success.
You got one success.
Hold,
Okay, great.
hold on here. Let's do. So it'd be 5 dice that I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One success.
Okay, as you guys see the bag of, the flip-flops, the board shorts, the body glove, and you kind of look through it and then you look at the so Matt has the bag of stuff that his hands are gloved. He's kind of like just kind of he's not allowed to open it, but it's a clear bag. And Daisy's looking at the autopsy report, and it says like items found on deceased. um there is no mention of a necklace or a locket.
Oh,
Okay, so there's a missing item here. because that locket was something that it's like a family heirloom and a luck thing, right?
It was like his good luck charm. Yeah, it's like, you know, the way Cheryl talked about it is like this kid would have been, you know, would have went to a surfing contest naked as long as he had his board and the necklace as for good luck.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
Huh.
So maybe he was killed for the necklace,
Or it got dropped when he died.
or somebody who intaked him stole it.
Was the necklace metal?
Cheryl will describe it as yeah, it was like kind of a bronze color. It was about the size of a silver dollar, and it had kind of like an aquatic kind of like octopus kraken design on it.
Okay. And there
Are they
wasn't
back
a
in the car?
storm on Friday, was there?
What was that?
So there was like no storm. Clear, clear, nice day.
It's a clear, nice day.
Okay.
It's
Are
very
they back in the
Columbo of
car?
you. Yeah.
There was no murder. It was just an accident.
Yeah. Except that it rained on Tuesday and the guy had a convertible. I just watched that Columbo episode. So,
Are you guys back in the car yet?
Yeah, I think we're heading towards the car now. I relay all this
Yeah.
information to you. I didn't tell Joe or give Cheryl his number, mainly because if they call, we don't get the money. So,
always thinking one step ahead.
yep.
So when you guys get back to the car, and I assume pretty quickly say like, "Yep, that's Kyle." Um, I'll just be like, um, "That was pretty easy then. She just wanted us to find him, right?"
Yeah, but we could put in some nice brownie points, seeing as she's given us 2 grand. Maybe figure out why her brother died.
Well, that $2,000 was just a deposit too. So.
I mean, you can give her a call. You know she stays up at night. Um, and see what you know, like if she would pay you more for the locket or, you know, or if you just want to go down and find it and get, you know, check
No,
out the
no, we should
car.
we should report what we have. I think.
Well, I feel the car is unlimited borrowed time. It's gonna
Yeah,
get
we
repoed soon.
Okay.
Let's deal with the car. Go talk to Slash and them in the morning, and then in the evening when it gets tonight, we can go talk to her.
What can we do about the car right now?
I figure we were just gonna take the boot off and
Yeah, I was just gonna
essentially
take
steal
it.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we're
what
just
we're gonna.
gonna steal the car?
Well, we're not stealing it. We're repossessing it
We're
for.
relocating it to its next of kin.
I
Yeah,
mean, Coral Castle, from what Tim found out with his database search, is set up to have its entrance blocked in the next couple days so they can get their parking lot repaved. So he found a flag in the DMV system saying they needed a tow because there was a tourist car that was abandoned there, and they have that problem because they are pretty much the furthest south you can go, so they want that gone.
yeah. We're saving the city money. We're saving the Coral Castle money
I feel
by
like
having
there's
to
a
have this thing towed.
procedure that we have
It's
to go
we're doing good
through.
work.
And I feel like I
Plus,
don't
we're
want to do no
already
more
like
paperwork.
we're
Let's go
already
get
like
the
I
20
car.
think
minutes. Yeah,
I think we can just go get the car.
I let's yeah, Daisy, you're driving.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Jump to the
pretend you
top.
guys did everything on the legal.
We'll figure out exactly how legal everything is afterwards. You know how it is.
Okay, you drive down there, you don't have any problems.
Sweet. Do we find the car?
Yep, it's the only one in the parking lot.
Okay. Before anyone touches anything, uh, go in the back of the trunk, grab some more medic gloves, because I'm not getting incriminated with anything. Uh, let's look at the car, look for fingerprints.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say before anybody does anything, I would like to check it for explosives. Just
Sure.
because it's something I can do.
That's how you have one job on this ship.
If the car's going to explode, I'm going to know it's going to explode. That's
You
all
got
I'm
it.
getting.
You got it. Okay, so how about well that is a technology role, right? And what do you want to roll as your attribute, and do you want to add any edges or anything like that?
Is there a limit to the number of edges I can add?
I think there's a limit on the in terms of like how reasonable they are.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
As you start stacking them, they start getting a little. I want my
It's like
gun to break the ice.
yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, they are there to make your role better, you know. And this is a game like we're all learning, like we all are
Mhm.
new to the system, and stuff like that. So it's like I feel it's about the story and giving yourself an advantage. I always run a game where you all are the heroes, so some roles should be easier than others. So what are you thinking?
All right. I'm currently thinking either resolve or cunning,
Okay.
um, and survival. But that's just because there's no. Where's the perception? Where's the skill?
I would say it's technology because you're looking for
Oh,
technical devices,
yeah, that sounds good. All right.
right?
So
Because I feel like that's another skill that you have a decent amount of dots in.
then I would like to use keen sense, although I'm not 100% sure on what that does, which is my
Sure.
fault.
What page is that on? We can look it up together. Oh, I see it. Uh,
And it's
you
fake
have
sight.
you have a particularly good sense. So sight, smell, hearing, touch. And how many dots do you have in that?
One.
Okay, so you have one sense. So do you want that to be your sight?
Yes. Oh, it
Okay.
is. It is my sight. Yeah, it's me looking. I'm not
Okay.
touching it.
So you get one enhancement.
Okay, one enhancement. Um, danger sense seems to be something that comes as a
I
reaction
I
roll.
feel
Is
like
that
this is a legitimate use of danger sense. Yeah. I think so.
so? Danger sense says you can make a reflexive survival plus cunning roll to detect immediate, directly harmful threats like an ambush, a sniper, or a bomb. Um, this roll doesn't apply to indirect threats.
Do you just want to roll that
Yeah,
and
I
get vibes first
might as well.
and
Because
then go into a more in-depth thing after that?
if the vibes are not good, then yes, I will do that. So that's survival
Yeah.
and cunning. That's nice because it also says the roll to make.
Add your keen sense to it. So you'll have one enhancement. So roll, and if you get successes, you have an extra enhanced success.
All right, that is 7. 9, 10, 10.
So re-roll the tens.
10, 10. This is all in Detectogate D20 for the record. You can audit this. So that's 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Another 10, 6. And
Uh-huh.
now it's 1d10. And an 8 for 7. Again, it's all in the chat.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Here's what we'll do because we need to go on our 5-minute break soon. So, um, you're looking around this car. This car is the big Lebowski of cars. The bumper is held on by a bungee cords. No one needs to blow up this car. This car is about to fall apart. Um, the surfboard is at the top. The boot is on the side. You look down in areas that, you would maybe see you could see a car bomb from far away, like, like maybe you're like a couple feet away and you like kind of lay on the pavement. Um, it's fine. Um, what you do notice in the car that's just like filled with wrappers and just junk. It's one of those cars.
Okay.
Um, you maybe took when you wanted to hold Cheryl's hand, um, when you took the form back, right? You
Mhm.
notice among all this junk on the passenger side seat, there is like a note in her handwriting.
Oh, big squirrely crucive.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I just look to the crew, give a thumbs up, and uh, you know, if I ever find something, you're going to be really appreciative that I'd looked. Also, that's her handwriting right there as I point through the passenger window to everybody else.
So the door is locked.
Okay.
Um, so if anybody has larceny, that would be um what you
Ooh,
would need to open it.
I think that's me.
I
Dexterity
want like
larceny. I
I'm
got
going to
Cuffs
keep
and
success for that.
gloves. Yep.
a lookout while Tim goes to work.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim, you can pick your attribute that you would like to roll plus larceny, and then any edges that might enhance this roll that you think are necessary.
See here. Well, it's going to be dexterity larceny. And I've got 6
Okay.
dice for that.
Okay.
I could use engineer's eye, but I've already got 1 success with a 10. I'll go with 1 success.
If you rolled a 10, you get to re-roll it.
Yeah, I did. It did
Oh,
not
okay.
explode.
Sure. Um, you open the door. It's not that difficult. Like I said, the car might fall apart if it gets towed.
Yeah,
So
like
go
I'm
ahead and
supposed to lock
explain
it. Still
what
work.
yeah, what gadgets do you use to open it?
Well, it's like it's locked, right?
Mhm.
And I start fiddling around with things, and then I'm like, okay, this thing is a piece of shit, and I just put both my hands on the window and push down, and the window just opens
Okay.
because like the internal mechanism is just not strong enough to hold it up anymore. I'm like, yeah, it looks like he does this or did this. Sorry, ooh, dead guy's car. Yeah, I got it open.
Is there a boot on this car?
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta
You
take that
want to,
off.
Tim? Yeah, you want to start working on that boot while we
Yeah,
take a look.
I'll try and get this boot off here.
You can talk it off if you want. I'll just.
What are you gonna
Hello,
do? Shoot
boot.
it?
Yes.
Put it in the
Yes.
right spot.
Actually, this might be the time to do that.
And you just pop the tire.
It would be loud.
You say something angry at the boot and then shoot it. Yeah.
I'm gonna break the ice with it, and then I'm gonna shoot it. I mean, what's the other larceny? I'm guessing.
Larceny.
Larceny or technology, I feel.
So
Yeah.
I would still just have 3 dots then.
All right.
I mean, I could go at
So
it
this might
rough.
not be a good one. If you can do
This is kind of me still. I got 8 dice for dexterity technology.
better than me.
Also, so I've got something called Engineer's Eye. I can spend a momentum to increase my character's scale for one action when acting to damage a vehicle or high-tech device. Yeah, it's probably not going to work here.
Well, it says vehicle.
Well, that's
Well, if
Plan
you're not
B.
damaging it, you're trying to break into it, I guess.
Yeah, and
I'm just trying to remove it.
if you can't unlock it, then you damage it, and that's where
Yeah.
you're going to want to use it.
All right, so I'll just try to unlock it. So dexterity, technology, 8 dice. You're
And
gonna have to shoot it.
No,
I
well,
got
do you
no
no.
want to use
success.
any momentum? How much did you fail? First of all, how much did you fail?
It
You
doesn't
need
have
that
a
one.
tire anymore.
Oh, I got a couple ones.
Oh no.
So you had no successes and ones? So you
Yeah,
botched?
I guess so.
Okay. All right.
You know
Yeah.
what? Let's
So
You do
let's spend the
momentum.
momentum. Let's spend the momentum just in case.
okay.
Does
So
that help here?
yep. I mean, you can spend 2. There's 4 in the pool. 2 will be added after this because if it's
Oh,
still a
well,
botch.
How many
if it's still
ones
alive.
did you botch by?
I got 2 ones.
Okay. Take 2 dice and hopefully you explode. Balance it out.
All right, I will take 2 momentum and roll it. I got 2 7s.
Still not enough.
Nope.
No.
Back up to 4. All right. Explain to me how this fucks up, for lack of a better term.
So I'm trying to take the boot off. I've probably got shitty little hand tools. I'm more of a tech guy. But I'm pretty dexterous, so I think I get to the point where I'm just like trying to remove screws and bolts to like just disassemble it, and I strip them out, and I'm like, oh shit, and like now even if you had the key to take it off, the key wouldn't even work.
Okay.
Can I try to just brute force it?
Sure. I'm sure you guys have a crowbar in the back of your car or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna jam a crowbar in it and then just start like taking the shit out of this uh thing. I'm gonna use might and close combat. That's 7 dice.
Okay.
I'm just going to attack it.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, he stripped the bolt, so and
um,
I don't want to shoot it. All right. So far, 1 success. 2, 3. 1 more die. This one's rolling good. 4 successes.
I think that's enough. I think what happens is that the tire behind it is so like rusted and gross that breaks and the boot just like falls off intact.
all right.
There you go.
Is this a car that has the spare in the trunk or the spare underneath?
Um,
I'll go take a look.
I think I could probably repair it. Did I actually snap the wheel off?
No, it sounds like the wheel's fine, right? Like, kind of. Or
Like yeah, it's broken.
no, the wheel's broken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn it. All right, I'm gonna
I mean,
Well,
I'm
we
they
gonna
have
don't need
use.
the car.
Well, I would
It,
like
Well,
to
we've
get.
already committed a felony.
I doubled down. I doubled down. I'm gonna use. Um,
Let's go steal somebody else's wheel. Put it on this car.
I look around. The only other car in the parking lot is ours.
my
is
character's
there
so dumb. I'm gonna use Miss Fix It, the Edge, Miss Fix It, and Intellect to. I'm gonna go in the back of my car, get my toolbox, and see if I can just jury rig this wheel long enough to get it home.
You realize that most cars have 5 wheels in them, right? Like most cars carry a spare wheel.
Mine doesn't. Like, oh, under
I
the
think there's a difference between
Under
wheel and tire.
well,
The
no, it's
the
it's a
wheel is
whole.
off the axle and the tire has popped and it just slipped out of the boot. That
No,
like it just yeah. So,
your spare tire in your car has you take the bolts off and then you bolt it. As long as the axle itself is okay, we could undo the tire, take it
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
and put in the one that's going to be probably be under the trunk, or it's going to be bolted up to the bottom of the frame at the back.
Slap your character on the back, and I'm like, I agree with this guy.
I mean, now if it's inflated or not is another thing, but we can ride on a dead rim for a little while. Like it won't.
we have to ride for an hour.
No, only to the nearest air compressor. If it's flat. Uh, but yeah, we do have to get in the trunk, which involves
We just need a
we
spare
already
tire.
have the door open. So yeah, let's
Oh,
pop
he
the
might
trunk.
not have a spare tire though. That might be the problem.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a hatchback. It's like an old style like station wagon with the wood paneling.
does that mean the tire's attached to the back?
It is not. There is a surfboard in the back of his car and just garbage.
I go over to my car, I look for a spare, which I know I should have,
I feel like
because I will use
yeah.
always prepared, my Edge. I have the Edge always prepared. I should have a spare tire.
And then
And
go ahead and roll you have that and then go ahead and roll the I would say maybe dexterity or might or if you're doing this smarty pants intellect way and then the whatever skill you want that Miss Fix It requires.
what
Yeah,
did it
so
need? Hold on.
so
Fix It.
Misfix It allows you to add another skills dots as long as you know how to operate the device. So in this one, I think you would add your pilot skill to this repair.
Thank God. Okay. So dexterity and pilot, which is seven dots.
And is there anything else that she can add to the? Because it would be,
Yeah, it would be like dexterity technology.
yeah. But do you have any technology?
Yes.
I don't.
Do you have
Um
survival?
I have 2 survival.
Could you do survival?
do you have larceny?
Nope. I went all in on close combat, medicine, and pilot.
I'll do survival. I feel like it's an urban survival, but it's survival.
Thank you. So 2,
I feel like she
uh,
would have urban survival too.
yeah, 5, and then so 9 total. And then if I have to, I can add Miss Fix It.
Nope, you automatically add that. So you add your
The Miss Fix It is the pilot
so it's
that's
pilot,
adding to it. Yeah.
survival, and
Ah, gotcha.
So
dexterity.
roll those 3 things. Yeah, and then the Fix It is already included.
I got 2 successes. Because I rolled a
It's
10 and a 1, so they canceled each other out.
oh no, they don't cancel each other out.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, ones
No.
don't take away from successes. In this
Ones
system.
don't take away
Oh,
because the success threshold is so high.
so I got 3
Yeah.
successes and a 1.
Okay.
Which, yeah,
I don't
you
know.
can just ignore the one unless you fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So 3 successes, yeah, it's gonna work. Um, Tim, you opened the door and you got the note out. Um, the note says it's by the fountain somewhere, and it's a drawing of kind of what the locket should look like. It's a
And it's in
bronze, silver dollar, kind of has a lot of like kraken, tentacles, bat wings type stuff on it in Cheryl's
okay.
handwriting.
So wait, she
Found it
wanted
somewhere.
him to look for this locket? Did she lie?
Sometimes people lie. That is a constant in all the universes.
Yeah, so this is not consistent with what she told us.
I'm glad we didn't
It,
inform her that he's dead.
yeah, that was a good call, I guess. Um, yeah, so I share that information with everybody, and can I just search the car while Daisy is fixing the drivability? Oh, you're a kitty.
Kitty on the laptop. Sorry. Just I like to make appearances during Onyx Path Twitch streams. Hello, Macklemore. You need to let me finish this. So, what you see next to it is like those tourist pamphlets for Coral Castle, and there's like a map and like a little blurb about Coral Castle, which you're in the parking lot for. And there is an astrological garden with a fountain pond thing that he has marked with like a question mark.
So he was here to get the locket, and it looks like she must have, what, put it here? That doesn't make
She.
sense.
Hmm.
Like she took it from him?
Or
It
it
is
wasn't his
the
to begin with.
yeah.
He was just
It's
supposed to go retrieve it. It's a lot that we don't know yet. Uh, I think while I'm messing around with this tire, I say, someone go look for it then. It's probably still there because it wasn't on his body.
Yeah. Are we nearby this fountain?
You're in the parking lot. The fountain is pretty close to the gate entrance. What this place is like, let me get my little blurb that I did up.
Feet was wet.
The structure is comprised of it's like a whole like it's acres of this large stones, each weighing several tons, made out of coral. They're sculpted into a variety of shapes, and it's currently a privately owned tourist attraction. Um, it is believed that the man who built it, Edward Lee Skellen, used reverse magnetism or supernatural abilities to move and carve the stones. Uh, they include walls, tables, chairs, a crescent moon, a water fountain, and a sundial. Um, it is noted that it was built single-handedly by Edward. And then you can see that the walls are made out of like coral, and there's like an entrance gate, etc. And you have a map.
Guys, he died in the fountain. His
That,
feet were wet, but his body was dry, and there's coral everywhere.
well, we should probably go check out that fountain. Um, is the place open right now? It's like probably like 10 o'clock at night, maybe later.
No, and it's closed for like the non-tourist season. Like I said, they're gonna get their parking lot repaved and stuff like that. So
oh, the fence isn't that tall. Off we go.
So the walls are made out of like these huge, like white, gray coral slabs. You can go through, you could kind of like there's some turnstiles at the visitors entrance that have like a padlocked gate that you guys can get through if you want. It's not that hard. You just after what you did with the car, you can get through this lack of security system. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
So
have to get going fast enough. No, kidding. Yeah, I'm mainly interested to know. I want to see if there's uh, open, if there's any fuckery with the electronics, electricity, line volts for lighting. That's kind of what I'm thinking we should, what I want to take a look for.
okay, so I'm gonna say as you go into just like the main like courtyard, you're looking it's the fountain has like the astrological garden and you can see from far away there's like a wall that has like a carving of Saturn and moon and stuff like that. So you need to eventually go left basically through this maze of buildings he's created. Um that there is this whole thing about like reverse magnetism and like how he generates his own electricity and that was like helped lift the stones and it is like kind of bad shit, right? But and this is a real thing. Like quick side note, this is a real thing in our lives, like not just the game. Like this is a attraction you can go see in Florida. It is real. You can Google map it. Um,
What's it called
on the
again?
map, it's called Coral Castle.
Coral Castle.
Um, and uh, it was built between the 20s and the 50s by this man named Edward, and he is a bit of a trash human being who's like very into capitalism. Um, but he built this attraction supposedly by himself, having a history of his family being stonemasons, and he knew how to lift stones properly, and he knew how to use reverse magnetism, and he has pamphlets upon pamphlets that I read and didn't understand about how to do like electrical experiments and like basically make constant energy from tapping into the poles of the like Earth. Um, so this attraction has one maintenance shed and it has some contraption like it's on like the fold out page of the it's this big kind of crank machine that is apparently powering the entire place. In terms of like what electricity looks like here, it's very open air, it's very gardens. There's like one little house, kind of thing, but it's more of like a gardens kind of hedge maze what made of coral. Um they have some solar lights. They have a very rudimentary like ticket stand and like maybe like a snack shop stand, like an amusement park that can be closed down seasonally. And that you kind of notice you look behind like has a generator. But other light sources that are around the park are apparently connected to this maintenance shed with his magnetism machine. And there's some little walk lights in the garden and whatnot.
This place is weird. I'd pull out a flashlight.
So where would you like to go? Would you like to go to the maintenance shed or would you like to go to the fountain astrological garden with the sundial and stuff like that.
Maybe we split up so it's faster because we're not technically supposed to be in here.
Yeah, I guess given my skill set, I'll go to the maintenance shed.
I think I'll also go there.
Okay, and so the other two are going to the fountain, the fountain astrological garden.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go, so that's great. And then if Matt wants to come along.
Okay, sounds good. Who would like to go to their area first?
I guess I'll volunteer. Yes, let's go to the maintenance shed.
Yeah.
Okay, as you get there, you notice that the machine that's in there is slowly going. There's multiple pieces of metal, and it's like it has like a gear. That's the word I'm looking for. It has like a gear and stuff like that. Um, you can throw a wrench into the works. You can unhook something. It again, there was like a padlock on the door, like uh a master lock, which is like the worst in in security. So like you popped that open, and you do see some little garden lights around um that way. The other crew, as you go and you get to this fountain, you see something blue, like a blue-green glow, like a glow-in-the-dark thing at the bottom of the pond fountain. I'm going to do this since we are almost out of time. Um, I'm going to give an actual use of danger sense. So I would like our danger sense person to roll his danger sense in by the fountain, by the water.
Okay, yep, that sounds good. That was cunning and what? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Survival. It was. I accidentally had the bonehead close the tab. That is two successes that are both tens, with a 5 and a 7. So two successes.
Okay. You notice with your keen senses, let's do sight. It's a full moon. You have your flashlight. There's this weird glowing thing that catches your eye. And just above it on the ground, this pond isn't deep. It's like it's not a koi pond or anything. It's maybe at most like 6 or 8 inches deep. You know, it's like an ankle deep pond. It has along the wall, there's like one of those ornate carvings of like a face, you know, and the water comes out of the face and it trickles down the waterfall into this pond and it cycles back. So something is cycling this water. And when you look, one of the garden lights is broken, and that on like the path that like goes past this pond as like a feature, and people aren't supposed to step over the garden lights and go into the pond. But the garden light is broken and has rolled into the water. So the water is electrified.
All right, I hold Matt up from getting any closer, and then point it out. What would it be to resolve that? Or, for me to fix it? I mean, is there is it like a string of lights and this one is busted and might be able to grab the wire outside of the water and lift it out?
It's like they're connected, they're each connected by the wire, but they're like kind of a pretty solid light that was staked into the ground as like maybe like a little spotlight kind of thing. Um so it's you would have to have like the best case scenario is turn off the electricity, pull it out of the water
Yeah,
because it is running a pretty big current.
I was just thinking that I'm a volunteer firefighter, or at least I was, and therefore I would know where to look for panels for electricity to turn it off. And typically, they're directly under the mast where the power comes in at, depending on facility size, I guess. But yeah, I want to.
So
This
you
is
can
not safe.
see Yeah, so you can see like they go underground to the end of this garden where the lights are, and then you see there's like some above ground wires, and it goes a little bit more, and then it's basically the maintenance shed. All the wires lead to this maintenance shed above
Oh,
and below ground.
that makes sense. Um, we don't want to go in there yet. Let's. We got to head to the maintenance shed.
Well, lucky day. We are at the maintenance shed.
How far away is it? Can I yell? No, I don't want to yell. It's late at night.
You are in the middle of nowhere. Like legitimately, like in the 90s, there was nothing for Miles except this attraction, and he had bought a huge acreage. So if you Google map it now, there's a bit of a, like people live there, people live close by, like maybe they're only like 20 minutes away from it or something like that. But you are like in the middle of the Everglades in this guy's crazy coral labyrinth. So you can shout if you want to. The only things that are going to hear you are the crocodiles and the alligators. So
Security?
there is no security. There is
Yeah,
only master lock padlocks. People aren't going to steal 3-ton coral stones. Like there's like a cash box has been removed from the ticket stand. Like that's the most expensive thing here. So
all right. In that case, I would yell to if you find a panel, turn off the power. This shit is electrified right now.
I will look for a way to turn the power off.
and again, it's just this like there's a crank, there's some gears, there's not a classic electrical panel in here at all. It's this weird machine that just keeps going and apparently is a perpetual motion machine based off the magnetism of the earth.
I'm just like, what is taking them so long? Just throw the disconnect switch. What is the problem in there?
I
Just
yell
such a
back,
modern man. Yeah.
it's not normal electricity.
What? I've got
Should
to
I
head over and take a
crank
look at it.
in the opposite direction of the gears to turn it off?
You're gonna throw a wrench in the works?
Sure.
You're going to destroy this precious machine that
Well,
part of the attraction
you
is
said
built on?
there's gears and a crank, right?
Yeah,
Could I just crank it in the other direction?
you can see what that does.
Yeah, fuck it, I do it.
Okay. Uh, let me roll some dice.
Oh no. It's never good when the DM says I need to roll some dice.
Um, it starts sparking.
put my hands up like I'm guilty of something and take a couple steps back and say, I think I broke it.
Did she break it?
No, it goes back, but like when she was cranking it the wrong way, it was like making weird grinding noises and sparking and like shooting electricity up wires that should be like input wires and stuff like that.
I don't suppose I see any connectors that can be disconnected. It's all like,
Oh, give me a roll. Let's see. Let's do like just do a like a sciency roll or a technology roll, like with an attribute that you like composure, you're keeping your calm, or intellect, you're thinking about this machine. Like, you know, maybe you picked up one of the pamphlets and you're trying to just discern what he was saying and stuff like that.
all right, yeah, let's do intellect technology. I've got 7 dice for that. All right, I got a single 10. Did not explode. So single
Yeah,
success.
there's some connectors. Um, you see that in one of his pamphlets, he mentions the like potato battery experiment, and he says that like that works, but the potato isn't powerful enough, and he uses a different source of um copper bindings. So if you can find like the big old metal piece that he uses as his conductive source, um, you could probably just like stop the machine. Or you could just stop the machine from going around temporarily, like the gear from circling.
Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. I've got um, what is it? The skill trick Engineer's Eye,
Okay. Yep, we were
and
talking
that
about
is
that.
spend a momentum to increase your character's scale for one action when acting to damage a vehicle or high-tech device. Let's say this is a high-tech device.
I'll consider it a high-ish tech device, yes, for the purposes of this thing. Yep. So we're
Okay,
gonna
so
spend a
what does
momentum from the pool.
yeah, and
We're down
then
to
what is
3.
what does that increase my scale
So
for one action?
normally everybody's on a 1-to-1 scale. So if you're two normal humans fighting, you don't have any scale. The best use of scale, for an example, is like you versus a superhero. So like you versus Superman. Superman's strength is 3 times as strong as you, so he's at a different scale. So he automatically gets more successes than you to a strength roll. Um, it can be explained differently in the book. That's kind of how I see it in my head. So I feel like you automatically have 2 enhancement to this in terms of scale, um, with your roll to disconnect kind of thing. You're just better than this machine right now. You're a man of the 90s. You are a hacksaws type deal.
Does that give me 2 automatic successes or 2 extra dice?
2 automatic successes, but you have to succeed in the roll.
Okay. So this is going to be cunning technology. So
Okay.
that's my big roll. It's 9 dice.
Okay.
I do have at least 110, and that's the only success. Wow. So I will see if that explodes, and it does not.
Okay. 3 successes, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, like this is not a high-tech bomb by any means. This is like a mass of gears, copper wire, magnets. How do they work? Type deal. Um, and I feel with your crew of demolitions experts, private eyes, former, like speed racers and stuff like that, like you have um, a tweeter probably, to see which one is like, super hot. And I feel like you have some gloves, some like rubber glove, like some electrician's gloves or whatever. And uh go ahead and tell us how you undo the machine.
Okay, well, I don't wanna wreck it, but I just wanna turn the power off for a bit. So
Mhm.
I watch this gear turning, and I look at the shaft, that the gear is on and what it's going to, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And there's further up on the shaft, the there's just the belt that it's turning has a lever on it, and it's
Mhm.
locked in place, and I just reach up to the lever and I'm like, "Okay, I think this'll," and it just stops turning the belt and the power just goes. The gear is still turning because it's perpetual motion, but it's not powering anything now.
Gotcha. I like it. Okay, great. So do you go meet up with everyone?
I just yell, "Power's off."
Okay. Okay, great. So if whoever is by the fountain can go figure out what this very intense glow is coming from. It's a little bit under like the sediment, um,
And it's
but
visible
something
to the
clearly
naked eye.
glowing in the dark. What is that?
Okay. You answered my question.
Okay.
If it was visible to the naked eye,
Yes.
the glow. Um, all right, I'm gonna be real cautious as I like look at the light and like verify that there's no, like eh, poke it a little bit, and then just okay, it's fine.
I'm gonna
Uh,
say like maybe you take it out of the water and put it on the ground. So if something does come back on, it's not electrifying the water,
yes,
I
that's
guess.
I think
Okay.
a smart firefighter would do.
I don't wanna
Uh,
tell you what to do, but I just, yeah,
I'm just
it's
just
the GM mom in me. So
all right. Is there a place that I can see where he fell? Like, can I see his shoe prints, or has it been too disturbed? Like before I get into the water.
no, you can see that, he, you see the footprints. I'll just give you this. You see the footprints lead by where the, like, the fountain part is,
Hmm.
and, there's not grass there per se, like, let's just say it's, like, little coral bits, and they've been, like, smushed down because they haven't had anybody walk on them in a while, and, there's a big one footprint, um, it looks like he walked around the right side of the fountain to get to the back from the path, and
Hmm.
there's a big push of a footprint because it looked like he tripped over this light, right? And, maybe didn't notice that he kicked it into the water, and, you kind of follow where that footprint goes, and you see that there's an opening in the coral wall, like a secret compartment was open underneath this fountain face, and, there's some slippery bits because of the way the water falls down, and he might have just slipped turning around and, um, got an ankle in the water and just dropped it and got electrocuted.
Oh, what a silly goose. Uh,
Because it's all just for everyone's reference, it's all like it's flat. Like this isn't a raised fountain or something. It's like it was dug into the ground. One guy was doing this. So it's like, it's the water is ground level and he dug underneath it. So that's how it's like, you kind of like trip over just like some little garden edging or something like that. It's very easy to accidentally like step into the pond, but the pond's only like 6 or 8 inches deep. So
All right.
So,
I'm gonna gesture to Matt to, hey, you could. It's safe now that the light's not in it. Go ahead and grab that.
All right, I'll grab it.
Okay,
Uh,
so what's going to happen is um Tim and Daisy are going to round the corner through the entrance of the Fountain Astrological Garden. And as you pick it up, you see that it is a um metal locket. It has a kind of like octopus design. There's bat wings. It's very intricate. It has a lot of grooves. You can't figure out how to open it. Like, look for a picture or something. Um, and when everybody is together and the locket gets picked up, an event happens. Um, uh, when you are about to leave the garden, um, the sky turns blue and then it into daylight. What you see is before you get to the gate, Cheryl walk through the gate and pass through you as if you were a ghost. She's in 1920s attire and hands someone behind you a small package. Um, as you turn around to look who it is, it turns out to be the man on all the pamphlets of Castle, Edward Lidskin, who is tending to the stones, brow filled with sweat, and the garden wall undecorated but a newly constructed pond. She leaves him with a kiss on the cheek and says she's going to make lunch. And when she's gone, he opens the package to find a note. Keep it secret, keep it safe. It's signed MM with the Aeon Society logo. Edward looks to the unfinished garden wall and then back at the package containing the locket, pulling it out and holding it up to the sun. When he puts it back down, he then looks at you and nods. He touches the past locket with the future, teleporting you back to your office in the strip mall. Once you find yourselves back, you hear a knock at the door. FBI, we have a warrant to search the premises. And that's where we'll end it for today.
fuck.
Oh no, they're gonna find all my stuff.
That's
I
awesome.
jump out the window. All right, a good session.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for everyone for attending. I designed this session as a way of just using the core book. I didn't buy anything else. I just wanted to figure out this mystery I had in my head. I mixed certain real world things like the Royal Palm Hotel, Miami, Coral Castle, with some super sciencey things like maybe if Edward Leedskin was Leedskallen, I'm sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing his name, was probably in the Trinity Continuum universe, he would most likely be a talent for sure. He would have some stats for that. We are going to experience some in-world things like the Aeon Society is specific to the Trinity Continuum, and hello, cat. And then we will see you not next week, but the week after on May 5th for the conclusion of The Devil in Board Shorts. And we're going to do some outros and we'll do it backwards. So we're going to start with Ginger Snap Roll. Just let us know who you were playing, where we can find you on the internet, and your name and your pronouns. Thank you.
Yo. I play Daisy Riddle. You can normally find me over on Frozen Fallout's channel, where we play Technocracy all the time as Phaedra Bennett. Uh, I am a she/her.
Okay, Fincross, you're next.
Yeah, you can Fincross. You can find me also in the Technogate 2000 campaign, and he, him.
Okay, Moto Rory.
This is Moto Rory. I was playing Tinkerbell or Tim Beale. You can normally see me on Federation Frontline Report on some Mondays of the month. playing Technogate, and pretty soon running the origin story of Tycho Vance, my character in that game.
And that has a Werewolf the Apocalypse aspect to it. We're
Uh,
having a little bit of a
mm,
crossover game with that. So if you're not the biggest fan of Mage, but you do like Werewolf and you kind of want to jump in at that starting point, definitely come and check us out on Federation Frontline Report for that aspect of Technogate 2000 and kind of start with the prequel and then go backwards with everything. And then Frozen Fallout, you're next.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Frozen Fallout, so I normally run the Technogate 2000 game for Mage the Ascension on my channel, the Federation Frontline Report. I do other kind of streaming as well, and you can always find me on Discord, Frozen Fallout on Discord. Um, and yeah, this was a great game, and looking forward to digging more into this mystery. I really like the system, and I look forward to playing more of it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Everyone, I'm Jenna, she, her. I was your GM. Thank you so much for attending. Once again, we're going to be back on May 5th for the conclusion of Devil and Board Shorts. We were using just the Trinity Continuum core rulebook, so if you're interested in making your own adventure, check that out on Drive Through RPG. I am also a writer, self-published for M20. You can find my stuff there. Adventure to Hollow Earth, Chapter in Dead Ends, and Lessons for a Young Mage. If you want to get your mage on. And then other than that, we just hope you had a great time and have a good week. Bye.